But first things first, Vikings have to take care of the Bears. Can they cover this number, pretty big number, in a divisional game, even against Chicago?
Yeah, I think the number's too big for me. I don't love the Bears, and I'm probably not going to be betting this one officially. But if you look at the Bears in divisional games, this has been the one spot where they at least have a chance, where they look like they can keep the game close, because we've seen it in the past 4 weeks. They've played 3 divisional games, and they've played all of those within 3 points. It took the Lions 23-20. That was the game that Eberflus got fired, but that game obviously very close. Took the Vikings to overtime last time around. That game, the Vikings won 30-27, and then playing the Packers 20-19. So I understand the Bears didn't win any of those, but when you're talking about 7 points in a divisional game, I think it's a little too rich for my blood to lay it with the Vikings. So it's probably going to be a no play from me because, listen, I don't trust the Bears to win this game. Because look at them at the end of these games. They just fall apart. Not a team I want to trust on the money line, but maybe you take a look at the points here with the Bears. And I understand, ugly, but I feel like that would probably be the lean for me.
Yeah, I would lean Vikings, but I feel like it's such a square play. You know what I mean? 80% of the money on the Vikings right now. And you can make an easy case for the Vikings. This number opened at 6 and a hook. Now it's at 7. The numbers are working your direction here. Vikings are 8-4-1 against the spread this season. They're 4-2 against the number at home. And the Bears stink on the road. They stink. They're 1-4-1 against the number. But still, 7 in a division game. I will lean Vikings, but I never feel really confident when I see everyone and their dog on the same side, because that's generally, as we know, when Vegas tends to rake and make money. So I'll lean Vikings, but honestly, I think I like the under better here. I would go under 44. That's the play that I think is the one that makes more sense to me. Now, it's come down from 46 again, went to 43 and a hook, bounced back up to 44. But if you look at these two defenses, Chicago is 10th in the NFL in points allowed. Vikings even better. They are 6th in points allowed. So I think ultimately this will come down to a couple of really good defenses and a Minnesota offense that is just more talented and should be able to put up points. So I feel like the Vikings could cover, but I think more than laying 7, I would feel more comfortable with the Vikings handing off to Aaron Jones, kind of slowing down the tempo a little bit, and an under being the play here.
Yeah, it feels like, especially when it comes to divisional games, I think unders are usually a solid play. The familiarity, they kind of know what's coming. And plus, if you look at both of these offenses, I think both these teams are going to want to try to run the football, and I think that the Vikings should be successful in that regard. I think my favorite play in this game is going to be on Aaron Jones. I think he has the best spot for any player prop here, just because the matchup lines up. And also, we have a game script. Last time around, he had a big game against the Bears. So I think that's where you kind of look for me. If you look at his prop this week, it is set at 62.5. It feels like a really gettable number for Aaron Jones, considering he ran for over 100 last time around. And plus, you look at the year on the whole, the Bears have not been good against the run, at least statistically speaking. They've given up the 3rd most yards to opposing running backs this season. So good spot, good history. And Aaron Jones has been good this year, and I think it's going to be a winning game script for the Vikings. I think this all spells Aaron Jones and betting the over on his rushing prop.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go there. I like that quite a bit. And, again, I like when things align. So if I like an under, then I'll be more than happy for Jones to tote the rock, take some time off the clock, chew up yardage on the ground, and also having that under hit. We also have one more game we got to talk about. This is the 8:30 game on ESPN. The Falcons visiting the Raiders. Falcons laying 4.5. The Falcons are minus 225. The Raiders are plus 180, and your total is 44 and a hook. This has come down from 6.5, and now we're seeing at BetMGM, okay, back up to 5.5. So what are you going to do with this garbage game? Falcons, Raiders. Ugh, my God. I hate myself for this. I think I kind of like the Raiders. You can get them at 5.5 now. So this line has kind of bounced around. I don't feel real great about putting money on a team to stay within 5.5 points when Desmond Ridder is at quarterback. This is the Desmond Ridder revenge game. Oh, that's right.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He used to be the quarterback of the future for like 2 games for the Falcons. And now, third stringer. Aiden O'Connell out. Gardner Minshew out. Desmond Ridder in. Chance to take it to his former team. Are you going to join me on the Vegas Raiders?
Oh, no. Oh, no, Jenks. What are you doing, man? The Raiders have won 2 games this year. And I understand that people love the revenge angle for some players. But, like, if he could play well, wouldn't he already have played well? He wouldn't be in this position if he wasn't a terrible quarterback. So Desmond Ridder, I don't think, is somebody who's immediately going to turn into, Tom Brady because he's facing a team that he's really motivated to beat. The Raiders are just an overall bad team. And to add insult to injury, their best defender just got injured, Max Crosby, out for this game, I believe. So it's going to be... God, and then you look at the Falcons. Do you want to trust Kirk Cousins, somebody who's been giving the ball away more than, the Salvation Army has been giving away presents to little kids? No. So it just feels like the great stink-off on Monday Night Football between the Raiders and the Falcons for me. So I'm not going to play a side in this game. I think you're walking in dangerous territory when you play bad teams as favorites. We saw that over the weekend for the Panthers. They were favored for the first time in like 20-some games against the Cowboys. And how did that turn out? They got smoked because, the story's been great. They've been better. They've been close in some of these games, but they're still losing. So it's not a Falcons team that I really want to lay 5.5 points with on the road here. So I won't be doing that. I think there are some maybe player props. I was thinking about my dude, Brock Bowers, looking at him and his receiving prop, but I don't think you should play receiving props when you don't trust the quarterback. Like, that's where it starts and ends for me with any prop on the Raiders, is that I don't trust Desmond Ridder, so I don't want to play receiving props. Maybe you look at the Falcons here, and Bijan Robinson is normally somebody who has a pretty high floor to where he's going to give you some production just because he gets the rock so much. But his props are always really expensive. Him to score a touchdown, -175. If you look at his rushing prop, it's pretty high. I think it's 81.5. Rushing and receiving is over 110. So I think the price is too steep on the Falcons and Bijan Robinson. I don't think there's anything that I really like in this game.
Did you call this matchup the Great Stink-Off?
Yeah.
It's a show I
now
do not
airing
want
on Fox.
I don't want to stream it on Netflix. Have you seen the Great Stink-Off? No. The Great British Stink-Off? No. Pass on that. This game is going to stink, though. Like, it's going to be bad. What do you think about Kirk Cousins continuing his streak of throwing picks? You can get Kirk Cousins to throw a pick at -135. Falcons have lost 4 straight, and during that time, Cousins has thrown 0 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. I'm tempted.